it's doing all these different things without overdoing any of them, and they all come together and everything has a place where it belongs and it works beautifully. Hey guys, thank you for being here again. My name is Wade and you are in McIntyre's Malt's YouTube channel, and today we're doing a tasting and review of a Campbeltown whiskey, which is one of only 3 distilleries that remain on Campbeltown. So today we're going to taste and review the Glen Scotia 15. As you can see, I've been enjoying this one, so I had to race to control myself and get a video done before I finished the bottle. So we just made it, right? So on the label itself, it says the classic Campbeltown malt, gently matured in the finest American oak barrels, rich and smooth. So the Glen Scotia 15 is bottled at 46% ABV, and most places it retails around $125 Australian, and its signature nose has hints of vanilla oak interwoven with subtle notes of sea spray and spicy aromatic fruits. Non-chill filtered. So non-chill filtered is always a tick in my book. So let's pour a dram and get into this one. All right. All right. So as the label says, non-chill filtered, but no mention of natural color. So may well be colored, but interesting, lovely, nice sort of typical quintessential whiskey color to it, right? Okay. Awesome scent. Different. There's a this is really cool. Because one of the things I enjoy a lot about trying all these different whiskeys is the more whiskeys that I try and expand my palate, I start to see the subtle differences in all these expressions, and even distilleries that are next door to one another. It's fantastic, right? There's this gorgeous, rich, decadent, fruity, almost like it's a fantastic nose. There's like elements of the vanilla marshmallows. That's incredible. Sorry guys, I'm just enjoying it. The oak is there. Think like just those hefty stone fruit. You know when you have like those gorgeous like yellow plums. You have like rich apricot and like nectarines. Incredible. There's such a, it's got such a presence, right? It just, and it's very different, right, to so many different other scotches. It's interesting. It's almost hard to believe that Campbeltown used to be the whiskey center, the mecca of whiskey, right? And had the most production in Scotland, and now only 3 distilleries remain. It's almost hard to fathom. And a whiskey that, whiskey of great caliber, the ones that are left, that are still standing, are, a testament to how good the quality is of the whiskeys that are being released still from Campbeltown. There's an oiliness to this too. Like, I know this is probably a weird descriptor, but if you ever think about frying an egg in a pan and the oil and that crispiness as the bottom of the egg white browns up and you get that crunchy parts on the egg, there's this fattiness. There's not it's like an oily, fatty smell to this too. It's very rich. The descriptor on the label is pretty bang on, right? The vanillas and the oak and the spicy rich fruit, like it's cool. It's very much, think rich and intense, like a typically sherried whiskey, but that same fullness and intensity, but from the American oak barrels. All right, let's try and see if those same kind of flavors are picked up on the palate. Oakiness straight away. Good heft. Nice intensity. The fruit flavors linger at the back of my palate. Nice mouthfeel. Slight saltiness. Oily. There's it's a very full and robust whiskey, right? Really lovely. The malt is coming through now and the finish. This whiskey is amazing value. To think that you're getting a 15-year-old whiskey, and at the price I did for $105, even at the $125 is still great. And I think this is an exceptional alternative if you cannot get yourself a Springbank, but you want to experience Campbeltown whiskey. And I think Glen Scotia is one of those distilleries that's probably flying under the radar a little bit. And once the mania of what's going on with whiskey currently sort of kicks in, that people realize what Glen Scotia is and how good it is, I think that the prices are going to go up. And it will likely be harder to find. So if you do see this, and at that price, $105, even to $125, is a great deal for a 15-year-old whiskey here in Australia. All right, let's try again on the nose. Spice and oak, just gorgeous. There's the first initial sense being the vanilla marshmallow and the deep, rich, dark fruit, the stone fruits coming through. And as it's opened up a little bit in my glass, now it's just gorgeous spice and vanilla and oak. It's lovely. There's so much here, and none of it's muddled. I find sometimes you get a whiskey that's almost trying to do too many things, and with the Glen Scotia 15, it's doing all these different things without overdoing any of them, and they all come together, and everything has a place where it belongs, and it works beautifully. I really, really enjoy that oaky scent in a whiskey when I close my eyes and imagine the whiskey swishing in the barrel as it's being moved around, and I'm there. Like, I can almost taste the wood. I know that sounds insane, right? I can. The oak is like, it feels like it's right in front of my face. It feels like I have a stave off the oak barrel, and I'm smelling the barrel itself. It's beautiful how much that presents on the nose and comes through. And then when you position the glass slightly differently, those yellow the yellow plums just boom hit your nose. It's gorgeous, picking up the different scents in the different areas of the glass as you move the whiskey around. It's fascinating. How can you not love whiskey, right? It's enjoyable. Every element of the experience is wonderful. Gorgeous, deep, Beautiful stone fruits, vanilla, oak and spice. Great combo in a whiskey, right? Let's try on the palate for the second sip and see how the flavors have unfolded. Gorgeous. Sweet, inviting, moorish, and then as you swallow, the woodiness comes through, but not dry oakiness. You're left with this lovely mouthfeel that gives you all the flavor and the perception of the oakiness from the barrel, but none of the dryness that I find often comes with that flavor, or at least in my experience. And then a lovely underlying maltiness that just finishes it up beautifully. A lovely whiskey by any stretch. If you haven't tried a Glen Scotia whiskey, I recommend that you try it. If you are into whiskeys that have some complexity and depth of flavor and a certain mouthfeel and quality and a reasonable ABV that's not at a high cask strength, but right in that sweet spot that I always mention, 46 to 48% seems to be very, very enjoyable, at least for my palate. I would recommend grab yourself a bottle of Glen Scotia and let me know what you think in the comments below if you've already tried this one, and any other expressions of Glen Scotia that you've tried that you recommend. It looks like I think it's about time to go and get another bottle, so I might finish this and head down to the store. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next video on McIntyre's Malts.